Hello everybody and welcome to the Mark Goldbridge live stream channel. We're here for the F1 Azerbaijan Grand Prix. It's going to be starting in the next few minutes. Thanks to everybody who is joining in with us. Really looking forward to it, and very challenging race, Baku at Azerbaijan.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Mark Goldbridge live stream channel. We're here for
game
the
with the
F1
old steering
Azerbaijan
and
Grand Prix.
Vettel on pole. We've added a couple of things here for you today as well. Very much a city track this, which always makes it feel a little bit claustrophobic, but there are opportunities to overtake, especially that final straight, which is highlighted in
Vettel on pole.
light blue, sorry, there on that bit. Some really tricky corners as well. It can get quite tight, but let's see how it goes. The live comments, especially good, no audio, which is highlighted in
Vettel on pole.
light blue, sorry. Some really tricky corners as well. It can get quite tight, but let's see how it goes. The live comments, especially good, no audio, which is highlighted in
Vettel on pole.
light blue, sorry. Some really tricky corners as well. Let me know if I've just sorted out the audio issues, because I'm not sure why it's doing that. Some really tricky corners. Let me know if I've just sorted out. Let me know. We can hear you a lot. It's like Inception. Okay, let me look. It's doing that. I think I know what the problem is. Yes. I had it running on my other laptop there, so we should be sorted now. So hello and welcome to the Mark Goldbridge live stream watch along for the Formula 1 Grand Prix in Azerbaijan. As you can see, Sebastian Vettel is on pole. Lewis Hamilton is in second. And then you've got the two Red Bulls, I believe, in second and third. No, sorry, Bottas, sorry, in third. Then the two Red Bulls. Then Raikkonen in the other Ferrari in sixth place. Sorted it. Sorry, it was repeating because I had my YouTube stream on as well. So Vettel first, Hamilton second, Mercedes and Ferrari on that front row, followed by Bottas, Ricciardo. Both had very good races, of course, last time out in China. Verstappen and Raikkonen, fifth and sixth. Then I think it's the Force Indias in 7th and 8th with Perez and Ocon. McLaren not done particularly well in this one, and all sorted now, yes. Please do share the video, drop a like on the video, and get involved with it if you like your Formula 1. As I said before when I was echoing, I was on Formula 1 2017 last night, having a crack at it, and it's a tough track, Azerbaijan. It's certainly not Australia, and the opportunities to overtake really don't hit in until a couple of straights, one on the home straight and then another one after the first two corners. But a city racing grid, so come on Ricciardo, says Ricardo Fidalgo. Is F1 your second sport, Mark, says Mikey. I do like it. I have been away from it for quite a while, but sort of, you know, this channel is a channel where I want to do some different sort of things, and I certainly you know, I'm getting back into it, and I really enjoyed the last race. So and I enjoy the little chats that we do when it's on as well, because I know a lot of people are interested in it as well. But hopefully going to implement a couple of things in this as well. Any insight into the next Arsenal manager? We'll keep that for the game. I will be doing the United stand later for Manchester United versus Arsenal, but for now it's all about the F1, and it should be getting away. Well, it said 1:10. We'll have that practice wrap and then we'll go. But realistically, I'm just trying to think from when I was playing last night. Let me just visualize it with my thing. So yeah, if I remember correctly, the first corner is a sharp left. And I struggled with it when I was playing last night. It took me I must have done about 50 laps on it. I was considering even going live on this channel just to sort of do a few practice laps of it, and I think we will do that in future. But I haven't played Formula 1 2017 at all. I used to play it about 3 years ago, but I've got the proper steering setup and everything with the heavy steering wheel. And I was racing on, what did I do? I did China and Australia, and they're far easier than Baku. It's a tough track, this is. It's I wouldn't say it's quite Monaco, but it's good. I hate F1 and most other sports. I'm just here for the banter, says Matthew McFadden. Well, we're about to get underway, and let's have a see how it goes at the start. Well, they're going to do the first lap, of course. They're just doing their practice lap at the moment. Of course, tyres will feature. Give us your thoughts. I mean, there's a lot of real good experience in the live comments from the last one with people who know their thing about Formula 1. So do get involved and give us your thoughts on strategy. Red Bull, I think, got it brilliant in the last Grand Prix. Very, very quick. They did catch it a bit fortuitous with the safety car getting in like that. But Red Bulls, you know, I like Red Bull. I do like the Red Bulls, and they are cars that you know, they're sort of the underdogs, aren't they? Predictions, Mark, says Irish Hammer. I'm going to go. I think it's hard to go against Vettel. I think Hamilton, if the Ferrari's got the speed, it's going to be very, very hard. If the Mercedes can get a bit of speed, then he needs to stick with him. There are opportunities. It's a huge homeward straight. It's huge, absolutely huge. You really can get your foot down. So yeah, but it's also because it's a city track as well. I think there's more opportunities for clipping your car. This corner they're just doing here is a bloody nightmare, absolute nightmare. I was doing it last night. If anyone was watching it there, that one is a pain in the arse on the game. You have to slow right down, and yeah, you cut through there. That's not particularly easy either. Past the castle, but yeah, if you get it wrong, you cut the corner and then you get a penalty anyway. So good track though, good track, challenging, and overtaking is not going to be particularly easy. Mark, can you explain F1 to me? Never watched it, never been into it. How does it work? Is there an EA League on? Sander Sager's basically, it's the fastest cars in the world racing around a track. Very easy to understand. You can get very, very technical. There's things like DRS where you can press a button in certain areas and it allows you to whiz past people. And, you know, that works very, very well. We might see a bit of that for overtaking. I certainly think it would happen. We're on the formation lap at the moment. And a lot of talk about soft tyres at the moment. Anthony Muller doesn't normally watch F1. Hey, if you're new to the channel, do subscribe and get involved. It's not as windy as it was yesterday, says Jack Alberti. We're just about to get into formation. I mean, it's the cliche, isn't it? It's that first start is always very, very important, and I'm sure we're going to see a good race here. But we're about to get going anyway, everybody. Azerbaijan. Sander, just watch it. That's how you will find out more, says Jack. Yeah, it's a very simple sport. And here we go with the lights. And we are off, go, go, go. Lights out. Vettel's away. No slipstream. Vettel is in front. Hamilton. Raikkonen's trying to come down the side, but everybody's in position. Bottas, Red Bull, they're all in position at the moment. Don't know what's going on at the back. It's a bloody nightmare if you're at the back as well. I was about 18th yesterday when I was having a... Oh, someone's hit. Somebody's hit. Yeah, something went flying there. So, yellow flag, a lot of debris. So that's going to slow everything down right at the start, and everyone should fall into formation. And it's... Raikkonen has hit one of the Force Indias. It's a tight race, Williams are out as well, Sertican. But Raikkonen into the Force India. He's got a line on him. Ocon cuts into Raikkonen, who's fancying the corner. I don't know whether... I mean, Raikkonen's going to do very well to get out of this race as well, without any damage on that. But the Force India's gone. And the Williams is gone. So the safety car is out on the first corner. So good start. It's such a tight city track, this. But drivers to follow the safety car. No overtaking. Ocon's gone. and Raikkonen's still in the race as we know it at the moment. Now, let me just see if yeah, we can get this up for you as well. We've got a little racing track for you there in the top corner, which is from F1 Feed. But they're all it's not going to break down very well at the moment because they're all going to be in the safety car situation. Actually, let me just change that a little bit. So everyone's pretty much in formation at the moment. So there we go, that's up and running as well. So we're all set. Lovely stuff. What's the safety car, says Sander? Well, the safety car, Sander, is something that basically goes out when there's been an incident and people have to stay in formation. So at the moment we've got Vettel in first, Hamilton, Bottas, Ricciardo, Verstappen and Raikkonen, which are the 6 right cars that started. Raikkonen's coming in. And they're going to change the front panel, but he's going to have to drop back quite a lot because obviously he's going to get a lot of uplift. But they're probably looking to run Raikkonen to the end of the race, I would have thought now, because coming in so early is not great. But with the safety car situation, it's not that bad. You're not going to lose masses of seconds, but you're going to have to work your way up from the back. Alonso's coming in. He's absolutely knackered his tyres up there. 2 flat tyres. Don't know what he's done. City, I called it, didn't I? City racing. It's a bloody nightmare. It really is. So everyone's bunched up on the map, as you can see at the moment. Vettel, just up there, is in the front. Everyone's bunched up because we have got a safety car at the moment. That little feature will start to spread out when the race spreads out a little bit more. Who've we got? Raikkonen, yeah, they've gone into the pits, haven't they? So Kieran says it's probably going to be a one-stop race now. Yeah, 51 laps. It's what we're looking at, probably about an hour. A bit over an hour. This is Alonso. So we've lost the Force India car early on, which will be disappointing. A lot of people like the Force India cars. More like Demolition Derby, says the Feel 6688. It's a bit like Monaco, isn't it? It's a pain in the backside. I mean, I was doing this track a few times last night, just familiarising myself with it, and it's if you're anywhere near the back of the queue, it's a bloody nightmare. There's so much going on. You want to be at the front. You want to be at the front. It's totally different racing to, you know, if you're in a Ferrari or you're in a Mercedes. It's I know that you get those cars because you're the best, but it's a totally different race if you're anywhere from 8th to the back of the grid. It is a bloody nightmare. Idris wants a Vettel win and a Manchester United 5-0 win and I'll be happy. Vettel could win it, says Pankaj. I think Vettel's going to be in a very, very good situation because of the of where he is. If you look at the track to the left at the moment, you can see you've got in the top right-hand corner, you've got Vettel leading from the safety cars. And then along that back track, you've got Alonso, who is in orange. I can't really point to it. It's over there, isn't it? Alonso, AOL, just to go around the corner there, because obviously they've been in the pit. So they're trying to catch up to get into the bunch while the safety car is out. And Raikkonen, I think, is in there as well. But that will start to break out quite nicely. Hamilton needs a win, yeah. But the Raikkonen connection with the Force India, I think the Force India just needs to see it coming, really. Oh, God. Raikkonen has gone out. I don't think he has. We're just waiting for the safety car at the moment to go. No overtaking at the moment, and right. When are we going to get the lift of the yellow flag and the safety car going to go? Because that's now pretty much open up. You know, we're not going to have the same sort of start from a grid, and Vettel will be looking to bomb on Hamilton, and it's going to be really interesting to see how that gap between Hamilton and Vettel breaks apart, really. McLaren aren't going to win the tournament, gents. Tech. Maybe 20 years ago, not anymore. I am actually going to do some Formula 1 career mode once I get up to speed with it. I haven't played it for so long, and I do use the assisted lines because you've got to. I'd like to have the time to not use them, and maybe as the career develops, I'll just turn it off. But at the moment, you've got to be doing like 100 laps on every race just to figure out where to brake and where to turn. So if I start the career mode, I probably will use the assisted thing. But I do use like quite high intensity on the steering wheel. And it does feel very, very realistic. I've driven a Formula 1 car before. Not, you know, nothing major like this, but there is a lot of power in those cars, and it does feel like quite good. So we'll do that. We'll do that. Mark Atherson's a McLaren fan. Yeah, I love those days of Senna. What difficulty do you play it on, Mark? Says Ben Johnson. I've started off quite low on this game because I've never played it before, but I am starting to win races more and more consistently. And you mark yourself from like, it's out of 100, isn't it? You move the thing up. So, yes. But it's good. I like to do it. And I think it's a good game so that you can probably do quite a long race, but you can be interactive with the live comments. So we'll definitely be doing the Formula 1 career mode. But we've done 4 laps so far, of which all of them have been done with the safety car. Please do share the video if you're new, and subscribe if you're new. Brand new sort of ideas and things that we're doing on this channel. We will be doing the Formula 1 races. We will be doing Hay versus Bello next week. Next Saturday night. Did a bit of FIFA Predicts the other day. So got lots and lots of things planned for the channel. But basically just going to be the sort of things that I want to watch and interact with people on if they want to join in. Just going to knock off the map at the moment because the safety car's out, so there's a little bit, still bits of debris on there, and that's obviously a concern for the racers. Oh, I've got my cup of tea here that I've not had a drink of. Bisto. Safety car still out in this lap. So safety car is going to come in this lap. So prepare yourselves, everybody. It's going to happen in this lap. Let's get me thing back on for you. So what we're looking for here is, it's not like the start when the safety car comes in, everyone's in formation and they will be racing around, so they're not going to be side by side. There will be probably some movements depending on when the safety car comes in, but personally it's about the gap between Vettel and Hamilton and how that's going to open up. We've basically got a 46 lap race now, 5 laps have been wasted on the safety car. I suspect it won't be the last time we see the safety car, but the safety car is coming in this lap. And Hamilton, as I look at him, here we go. Vettel's spinning around a bit. Hamilton's waiting. Bottas is based as well. I mean, you might see something here. Everybody's, you know, Vettel's like this and that. Hamilton, Bottas, the Red Bulls, they're raring to go. They can't go till Vettel goes and he's gone. Bloody hell, Verstappen and Ricciardo, no messing around on the Red Bulls, and the Renault has shot through as well. My good, Red Bull messed up there. Red Bull. So Red Bull have got obviously Ricciardo and Verstappen. They're racing with each other, and the Renault just pops through. The Renault popped through of Sainz, but Verstappen's pops back into fourth. So interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. But Vettel is pulling away from Hamilton at the moment. That's going to be the thing to keep an eye on. But Red Bulls always give you something as well. Ricciardo and Verstappen. But Ricciardo's gone down to 6th now as Sainz pops through in the Renault. That little shoot through past the castle there is a bloody nightmare. I can testify to that. From Formula 1 2017. It is a test. It is a pain. Do I do a watch along for wrestling, says John. I'll consider it when the big events are on. I nearly did WrestleMania, but I'll consider it. Vettel is absolute. This is my fear. Vettel is just pulling away from Hamilton. It's a 3-second gap and they've only been going for a lap. So I'll tell you what, Carlos Sainz is having a good race. There's always somebody in a race who's up for it, but Verstappen's got the line on him again. Sainz and Verstappen are all over each other here. It's nip and tuck, and Sainz has been twice past Verstappen into 4th, but Verstappen has reacted. Ricciardo's right behind him as well. I wouldn't be surprised if he just bursts through from 6th to 4th, but Sainz again having a look at Verstappen, and that's the race at the moment, 4th and 5th between Verstappen and Sainz in the Renault, and Verstappen in the Red Bull. Ricciardo quite right behind him, but he obviously hasn't got the pace. He's got the manoeuvrability, to get past the Red Bull, but he obviously hasn't got the speed to retain it because the Verstappen just reacts every single time. And Scott Nugent's happy about Vettel. He's pulling away. Alonso is way down. He had to come in. He did get a double puncture, so he's way down. But you should be able, if you look on the top right-hand corner with the F1 feed map, you can see how people are pulling away. And right in the bottom left-hand corner, VET is Vettel. Then you've got Hamilton blue, Bottas blue, and then you've got Verstappen, Sainz, Ricciardo. So, you know, Vettel there, look. I'll tell you what, I need to get my whiteboard. Minty Raikkonen, I'm just having a look at her. Anyway, enough of that. But Vettel's pulling away here, and this is the problem. Once he's gone, he's gone. Ferrari much quicker this year, much quicker. Looking good this year, says Ryan Goodwin. Idris feels that Vettel will win it this year. They've got the. This is the trouble with Formula One. I know they've tried over the years to make all the cars the same, but you know that doesn't help either. Sainz, Verstappen. They're absolutely all over each other at the moment. Sainz and Verstappen for 4th and 5th. Brilliant. But Vettel's just clocking in the fastest laps. He's had the last 2 and he's pulling away. He is over 3 seconds, as you can see to my right. We've got the little timers there, which I'll update as well. I would say, Kyron, you're probably right. Hamilton probably does earn more money than most footballers. Bloody deserves it as well. It's hard. When you drive, never drink. Yeah, I don't think there'll be many pissed for Formula 1 drivers, to be honest. Excuse my French. It's a good race between 4th and 7th. You've got the two Red Bulls, obviously Verstappen 4th and Ricciardo in 6th, Sainz in 5th place at the moment, and they've also got 7th as well for the Renault. So in Hulkenberg. Raikkonen in 11th, that's an interesting one. He did have the collision with the Force India right at the start, and he had to come in, but the safety car kept him bunched up. And can he work his way up? Sainz having another look at Verstappen. He's done again, but he's got him this time, and Verstappen can't react. So Verstappen down to 5th, Sainz up to 4th. Can he push away now? And the other, Hulkenberg, has cut past Ricciardo as well. So if you like the Renaults are doing very well in this race. They're cutting through the Red Bulls, and it looks like they've got the pace as well. Double manoeuvre there. That's where the race is. We were right. It's between 4th and 7th. The 2 Renaults, the 2 Red Bulls, and a double manoeuvre. Sainz passes Verstappen into 4th, and Hulkenberg passes Ricciardo into 6th. Well, Hulkenberg, is he going to pop past Verstappen now? Yep, the field 66688 says that the Renaults are giving Red Bull a bloody nightmare today, and Hamilton will earn more in a season than most footballers will earn in their career. I don't get why people are talking about football when this Formula 1 is on, says Loath Vision. Yeah, look, I do the United stand, Manchester United fan, and we are doing Arsenal later, but, you know, that's later. I don't need to. I'm not talking football now. We're going to talk. You can talk about it in the live comments if you want, but Hamilton's closed the gap on Vettel a little bit. That's of interest. It's not moving up anymore. It was over 3 seconds. Hulkenberg past Verstappen. But Verstappen comes back again. Oh, he won't get it. He hasn't got the line on the corner. That's a tough corner, that is. It's the first corner you come into after the starting. And the amount of times I hit the wall last night. Proper racing, though. That's where it's all at, isn't it? I mean, you focus on the start, but it's the proper racing that you enjoy. And well done, the Renaults. They're the story of the race so far. Another fast lap for Lewis Hamilton, says Tam Trainor. Already a fifth of the race gone through. It'd be interesting to see the stopping strategies. Remember, we had the safety car out for the first 5 laps, so there might be cars that are just thinking of a one-stop race. But Red Bull won't be happy. They've dropped to 6th and 7th. It'd be interesting to see if Force India would have been competitive. Obviously, they've lost one. Perez is back in 13th at the moment. And keep an eye on Hamilton and Vettel. If Hamilton can close that gap and keep closing it. 2.8 seconds at the moment. If you enjoy the channel, which I do, I really am enjoying it. I like the little map we've got in the corner. I like the timers there. So we've made a couple of changes. But subscribe to the channel if you're new. And please do share it. Let's get as many people involved as possible. George Kyle feels weird without the spanner. I'm sure we'll get some spanners. I think they'll be very appropriate for Formula 1 watch-alongs. But in fact, I'll do that in a minute. I'm logged into the United Stand at the moment, so I can't add moderators. But we have moderators on the United Stand who do great work on the moderating the live comment section. So we certainly do need some. That would be appreciated. Hamilton slowly is gaining to Stuart McHugh. Yep, he's knocked another half a second off there, so keep your eye on that. And if anybody who likes the Williams, they are starting to close in on the Red Bulls as well. So I don't know whether Ricciardo should be let past Verstappen, really, because I think Verstappen's really struggling to counter-react. Oh. Hulkenberg is out. He's I don't know what he's done. We'll have to see in a minute. That's a shame. He's retiring. Renaults will be gutted by that. They're having such a good race. What does he do? I know this track quite well. It's that corner. It's that one I hate. It was the one I was talking about. The one just before you clip through the city and past the castle. It's a bloody nightmare on the game. And it's a nightmare on this. Oh no, I don't think it was that corner actually. I don't think it was. But Hulkenberg gone. So Red Bulls will be quite relieved by that because they've gained a place because of a mistake by the Renault. So Hamilton's just at the fastest lap as well. Oh, Ricciardo and Verstappen colliding. I mean, that's something I would say as well, is that I've grown up with team orders, and I find that quite interesting that Red Bull are very competitive. It's not the first time they've gone into the same corner and clipped. So Ricciardo is not past Verstappen yet. Team order's very interesting then. Richard Thacker, the Red Bulls are fighting. Yeah, they are. They did. They went wheel to wheel. I mean, how does that work if you weren't racing for the same bloody people and you knock each other's car out? Very lucky. Wheel to wheel, very lucky. If that's like any other bit wheel to wheel, you're looking at punches, I think. So Ricciardo's dropped back a bit on Verstappen now. Vettel, Hamilton's made about a 1/10 of a second there as well. Still, well, no, he's lost. He's lost a second there, Hamilton. Well, that's odd. I don't know what's happened there, but Hamilton maybe has made a mistake or something, but he was down to 2.5 seconds. It's now up to 3.5 seconds in a lap. I agree with Jack Albertini. I think Red Bull should be using team orders here. "13 laps in then, Vettel." Hamilton was coming back at him a bit, but I don't know. I mean, does anybody know? Time to Vettel to be the new world champion, says FIFA Devils. I don't actually know what went wrong there or right with Hamilton. He seemed to lose a second. Could have been a little bit of an error on a corner, I don't know, but he definitely lost a second. Raikkonen's in 9th, the other Ferrari. He had a collision with the Force India at the start, but he's gradually working his way up. I think there'll be a few retirees in this race. It's a high concentration track, and also when people are overtaken, it can lead to even 2 Red Bulls colliding with each other. So that corner there that Raikkonen's just done, for anybody who's watching it, the amount of times yesterday when I was racing it, I ended up in the corner. Another fastest lap for Vettel. That's probably why he's responded to Hamilton. Verstappen's had a very hard race, hasn't he? He's been had by 2 Renaults. He's been fought at by Ricciardo. He's still up there in 5th, but I'd expect Raikkonen to start moving his way through, though. I mean, he's got they've definitely got the pace. Hamilton's nearly 4 seconds now, so it's another half second he's lost since we last saw. Ryan Goodwin saying that skill for skill, Hamilton is better than Vettel. And Hamilton doesn't seem at it this year, says Cal Davis 14. I think it's the speed of the car, mate. You know, the Ferrari is pulling away and has done in previous races as well. Jack says that Hamilton will come back in the European races. Vettel started well last year. Vettel's got the better race pace at the moment, Abdullah. I don't really watch F1. Can you give me a quick lowdown on what's going on? Says Daniel Bregan. We'll get back into it, Daniel, is what I would say. I've got back into it this season. Some of my family members, they went over to Dubai last year. They're going to Barcelona this year as well, and they're really into it. And I used to be into it a long time ago, but I have got back into it this year. And I mean, it's the end of the day. It's 20 cars racing against each other. Some cars are quicker than others, and some races are better than others. Some racing drivers are better than others, but when you get back into it, it's an intriguing sport. It really is, and the tracks, the politics, it's great. And you know, some races can be quite boring, but there's always something going on. I really enjoyed that couple of laps we had with the Renaults and the Red Bulls. The next there is going to be a battle for 4th, I think. Sainz all the way down through the Williams and the Red Bulls. I think they can get involved in it. Obviously, losing Hülkenberg was a bit of a shame. Raikkonen's moved up to 8th, I believe. And I think Raikkonen will start to move forward. I wouldn't be surprised to see Raikkonen in the top 5 in this race. From 3rd to 4th, from Bottas to Sainz, the gap is 20 seconds. From Hamilton to Verstappen's gone past Sainz. Sainz goes into the pits. I'm interested to see if Renault are going to be the ones who get the good pitbull strategy. Pit strategy. Because Red Bull's certainly got it in the last race. But Sainz has come in. Obviously the pit starts to change the positions around a bit. Sainz has come in. Hamilton's nearly 5 seconds down on Vettel, which is, you know, it was looking promising for a bit. Vettel was pulling away. Hamilton pulled it a little bit back, but not different. Yeah, I like the race map. It's F1 feed or something like that. We did one last week. The last Hamilton. I was right. Hamilton. That, you remember when I was talking about it a couple of laps ago? That corner where it's all a bit green. And I struggled with it when I was playing Formula 1 last night. Hamilton, that's where he lost a bit of time. He overcooked it, and it's a tough track. It's a tough track. Safety car could turn the race upside down, Mark. Nobody knows what is the best strategy yet, says Jack. I don't think Hamilton's out of it yet because he has shown, we know he made a mistake and we've known that he has made faster laps. So I don't think he's out of it yet. We're not halfway through the race. We've got the pit strategies to come. I wouldn't say it's done and dusted just yet. I really wouldn't. Raikkonen's up to 6th. Whacking past the Williams. Obviously Sainz has come in and gone out. It's been interesting to see where he figures in things. I love the pit strategy placings because it changes the race completely when people start coming in and out. But I think it'll be one stop strategy in this race. Don't know much about Azerbaijan really, other than a bit of money laundering. But looks like a nice place, weather-wise. Baku sounds like a place out of Star Wars. Four and a half seconds, Hamilton and Vettel. Bottas 5 seconds back on Hamilton. Raikkonen could benefit. I said Raikkonen would finish in the top 4, didn't I? So we'll see. We'll see if he can do it. Four and a half seconds, Vettel and Hamilton. I love the little map. It's a good little addition, isn't it? Remember to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Sauber's just dropped out there. And he's still going to go on. George Kyle, I'm on it, mate. I'm on it. You feel happier now, George Kyle will. Hamilton's brought it down to 4, just under 4, just over 4 seconds, 4.2. So he's shaving off about 0.3 seconds. I hope he can, hope he can. Oh, Hamilton, yeah, somebody just coming out of the pits there. So he's just done a fastest lap, Hamilton, as well, which is good. I don't know, people always say, where do you sit on the Hamilton sort of debate? And he's British, so I'm British, so I want Hamilton to win, but I know he's a divider. He is a divider. 4.2 seconds still between Vettel and Hamilton. .1 seconds now, Hamilton. Red Bull's still in 4th and 5th. Bit of a gap between them and Raikkonen now. None of the top 5, 6th, apart from Raikkonen, who did come in early on because of the collision, pitting yet. So Sainz was in 4th, remember, so in the Renault. So it'd be interesting to see if people come in and how that affects people. Struggling with a bit of a cold today. Hamilton's just cost. Oh, Lewis is. It's that same corner again. He's where he lost it before, and he's lost. It got under 4 seconds. Bit of a shame that for Lewis. He was doing all right. As Jack says, he locked up on that corner, and it's the corner I mentioned from driving on Formula 1 2017 last night. It's a bloody nightmare. It's the first. It's not the first corner actually. It's one of the last corners before you hit the straights, and he was under 4 seconds, and I think he's now 7 seconds off, 8 seconds off. Hamilton's coming in. It's a shame there. He's cost himself about 4 seconds, Lewis. Big lock up. Oh, Jack says it's a different corner actually. George Kyle says Hamilton's bottled it again. It's looking like Vettel's race at the moment. Hamilton comes in. It'd be interesting to see where he comes out. I would say should get him. Yeah, Verstappen's the one he's got to get out in front of. And he is. Just seconds in it. He needs to get some pace here. He's alright, he's got the corner to defend him off. But Red Bull. Good little move there from Mercedes to get Hamilton out, in and out in third. So, should be a top 3 finish for Hamilton anyway. And also, I think Sainz has just gone past Alonso. That's going to be an interesting one when people do start pitting, because he was in a good position before. Who is winning, says Pankaj. Top right hand corner, you should be able to see Vettel is in the top at the moment. He's 12 seconds ahead of Bottas, 17 seconds ahead of Hamilton. Of course, the interesting thing is that's quite a good change for Hamilton. When Vettel comes in, what's the sort of average time for a pit stop these days? Vettel, if you look at the map in the top right hand corner, is approaching one of the back stragglers as well. So sorry, there's 30 seconds between Hamilton and Vettel. I've read that completely wrong. I've read the gap between Bottas and Hamilton, which is 17 seconds, but it's 30 seconds between Hamilton and Vettel. So if Vettel comes in, he will comfortably go out ahead of Hamilton. Of course, the Ferraris could just stay out and not pit at all. So Vettel is still pulling away from Hamilton. His tyres not really kicking in yet because Verstappen behind him is actually closing the gap, and Verstappen's not been in yet. And obviously Verstappen has his own problems. just about halfway through this race as well. Kieran says the winner is always Vettel or Hamilton. Funnily enough, it wasn't in the last race, was it? Zilfil says, I don't think Brits are ever going to be a better driver than Germans. Well, I'm not getting into that. But the best racer I've ever seen was Brazilian, so you can all sit down. So, we've got Force India coming in. No, not Force India. They're talking live at the moment. Sauber. Evie Burgess, how can they manoeuvre like that at speeds like that? I'll tell you what, I can't wait to do the Formula 1 career mode, because you'll see what it's bloody like then. And that's just on a computer game, and it is, you know, I'm not going to say it's realistic, because it's not compared to the real thing, but you can see what I mean about the space and the speed and everything like that. It's good. Jack's correct. He's technically made me sit down. He says that you've got to pit at least once, because they have to use at least 2 different sets of tyres in a race. So Vettel will be coming in. So I'm reading this wrong here. This can't be right. Vettel and Hamilton 18 seconds apart. That can't be right, because it was 30 seconds not long ago. Adam McGarry's right. Vettel is still quicker than Hamilton, even though Hamilton's changed his tyres. But obviously that would probably change a little bit when Vettel comes in, because Hamilton's got to warm those tyres up. Please do share the video, everybody. Got about 160 people watching, so it's a new idea. We're going to see how it goes, but if you are enjoying it, do subscribe and do drop a like on the video, and please share it. Let's get as many people involved as you can. That's how we do it. Man like Sam 24, I'm going to say at least 3-0. That's for Manchester United Arsenal. I don't really want to talk about it too much, but there you go. Louise says Vettel for the win. It's certainly looking like that. Jack says that Hamilton's on the softs, which are slower than Vettel super softs. Jack is obviously... you know what I'm thinking? Jack, you can be a mod, because you know your stuff. You've proved yourself. So there you go. Jack, applause. You're a mod, because you know your stuff on the old Formula 1, and valuable opinions. He deserves a spanner. Just, you know, you don't have to delete anybody, anything like that, Jack. It's more of, you know what you're talking about when it comes to Formula 1. So, you never know, though. Someone could spin out. Vettel's ran a flawless race so far. And here we go. Ricciardo past Verstappen. Has he got it right this time? No! Do Verstappen and Ricciardo like each other, or have they got a death wish? Bloody hell. Yeah, exactly. I was just listening to the radio as well. Somebody just said it on there. You know, if you're a team, you've got to act like a team. And they twice now they could have absolutely battered each other. They're cool with each other, says Kachan. Yeah, oh yeah, I'm sure they are. But it's just very odd when it's two people on the same team battle for fourth. If I was in charge of that, the amount of money that is involved in it, if I was in charge of it, I would just be saying, look, you know, I'm all for competition, but these cars cost a lot of money. There's a lot at stake for getting a podium finish or even a finish in the top 6. So stop killing each other. Louise says that Verstappen likes to take more risks. I tell you what, I actually think that apart from obviously, you know, if Vettel wins the race, he has raced a flawless race on a difficult track so far. But for me, the best racer so far has been Verstappen. I mean, he's in 4th. He had to fight off the Renaults. Hulkenberg went out. I'm still interested as to where Sainz really is, because he's the only one who's pitted with Hamilton so far. But Verstappen's had a real challenge from behind the whole race, and he's responded to it really well. But in the last 2 races, Ricciardo and Verstappen have been the 2 that have impressed me the most. You know, I do like them. Jack, again, a little bit specialist in the live comments, says, I'm pretty sure Christian Horner, who is the Red Bull boss, said they will always let them race. He's minted, Jack, isn't he? You don't care. Just crack on. Do what you like. Manchester United, I actually agree with you. I prefer no team orders as well. For anybody from the United stand, I had Flex ringing me there. Teammate wars and the norm, says Kashan. Well, you know what though, I remember watching it in the past, and team orders were very, very strict, and it made it a little bit boring, really. The Phil 6688 says, let them battle it out and the gap between the Mercedes will get bigger. So Hamilton's about 30 seconds down from Vettel still. Bottas is 10 seconds down. I mean, that Bottas position doesn't help a lot, does it? You'd almost want Bottas to be 20 seconds down from Vettel so that when Vettel comes down he can slow him up a bit, but Raikkonen's not really in it. He's 12 seconds down on Ricciardo. Hamilton's pulled away from Verstappen now. He was closing up on him, Verstappen, but it's now 4 seconds. Evie Burgess, yeah, this is right in the middle of Baku, Azerbaijan, so it's a bit like Monaco. It's a city map, so this would just be normally a normal city centre in a couple of weeks' time when it's not set up for F1. A bit like Monaco. I hate them. You'll see when I start doing my F1 career mode. You'll see I prefer the tracks. That's something, I don't know whether it's just psychological, but I find them difficult. Mark, would you go on the Real Football Fans show? That's a great question, Phil. Ask it me later. And street racing, says Kajan. Come on, Verstappen, pass Hamilton, says Louise. And Denmark, big day for you. Arsenal, this you're going to do. United stand in an hour. Mario, yeah. But I would watch the F1 anyway, so I'd rather interact and watch it with you lots. And remember, on this channel, we're doing a lot of things on here. We've got the Hay versus Bello fight next Saturday night as well, if you're interested in the boxing. And I agree with Fazan. I think Formula One's a lot more interesting with the interaction and stuff we can bring. We don't profess to be geniuses about this, but we're sports fans. Vettel is in. So now it'll be interesting to see what the gap between Vettel and Hamilton is, and whether Hamilton can close that gap for a few laps while Vettel gets used to his tyres. There's a couple of back stragglers between Hamilton and Vettel though, so that's not ideal. 8.5 seconds, which is pretty much what it was when Hamilton went in anyway. So both Vettel and Hamilton have pitted. 8.5 seconds between them. We've got Jack in here. Jack, I presume Raikkonen, because he had that collision at the start, I presume Raikkonen will be just staying out now. I mean, Raikkonen went in after a collision with the Force India pretty much first 2 laps, and if he changed the tyres then, that would be 1. Do you think he'll get away with that? I'm just thinking about the Red Bulls, because there's a gap of 15 seconds between Raikkonen and Ricciardo. They need to get that over about 20 seconds if they want to be getting in ahead of Raikkonen. Bottas is going to have to pit soon as well, Aaron, you're right. The Red Devil HD, what is eSport? Let me know what it is. I don't have the answers for everything. Azerbaijan does look beautiful, Fazan, it does. Jack, yeah, thanks for that. He says, unless his tyres are dead, Raikkonen will just stay out now. He'll lose too much space, won't he, if he doesn't? Thanks everyone who's watching. We've got over 200 people watching at the moment, so do subscribe to the channel if you're new. Loads planned on here. You're going to love the Formula 1 career mode. I can't wait to do that. I've just got to get a little bit up to speed. I've done about 4 tracks. I played last night for about 2 hours, and I did about 15 laps on Azerbaijan, China, Australia, and Silverstone. So I want to get to know the tracks before I sort of start doing live streams. So I think by the next F1, which is in a couple of weeks, isn't it? I'll be ready. Maximilian says, which driver do you support? Let us know in the live comments which driver and team you support. I've got to be totally honest with you. I'm not mad. What I have enjoyed is the individuality of a race and saying they were my race driver of that race, and it's not always the person in first, because obviously the advantages of being in a Ferrari or a Mercedes are bigger than being in any other car. So I've been impressed with Verstappen in this race. I was impressed with Ricciardo in the last race. I'd say if a better question for me would be who do you prefer, Hamilton or Vettel? Hamilton for me, because he's British. Who do I prefer, Ferrari or Mercedes? Probably Mercedes. I've never been mad into Ferrari. Matthew McFadden says he's loving the map feature. Yeah, you can get that off the F1 feed. It's good. it's nice because it just visualises it. I mean, I've not been able to see it much, but as you can see there, you've got Vettel shooting down and Hamilton just coming into the corner. It's the first 3 letters of their name. Louise, I agree. I like Verstappen. So Bottas is still in at the moment, 12 seconds ahead of Vettel. Hamilton's closing down on Vettel at the moment, 7.5 seconds. But Vettel needs to get his tyres going, doesn't he? I think when that kicks in, it will make it a little bit more interesting. I think esports is, yeah, FIFA. Yeah, I'm going to do a bit of FIFA on here. I'm definitely going to do some Formula 1 stuff. And if I get good enough, I'll go online. I agree with Aaron. I think the best part of this race has been Verstappen versus Ricciardo. The battle for 4th is definitely the most entertaining part for me personally. I think it's also entertaining from the point of view that they're battling for 4th and 5, and Raikkonen is in 6th, 18 seconds behind them. But Raikkonen's not going to pit again. The Verstappens and the Ricciardos, they've got to pit, and it's around 20 seconds for a pit, isn't it? So Raikkonen will probably scoot past them. Can they then warm their tyres up quick enough to really pull him in? I think they can. So Raikkonen, I predicted Raikkonen would finish in the top 4, didn't I? So I might be wrong with that because it's looking good. Of course, Bottas and Hamilton gap's quite interesting as well. About just 20 seconds. Louise, yeah, Alonso's a cracking racer. He's just in a crap car, isn't he? McLaren's not doing so well. Yeah, we'll do the cricket, Fazan. Love a lemon sip. Okay. Please. George, you've got your spanner, yeah. Matthew, I will give you a spanner, but I don't know how. You've got no interest in sport other than football, have you? So you can have one, but Ricciardo past Verstappen. He's done him. Good little move that. Ricciardo past Verstappen. Ricciardo very, very impressive in the last race. Be interesting to see if Verstappen comes back at him again. I think he will. Humza, I will play Formula 1. I don't profess to be very good at it, but it will be good fun when I do it, and we'll set some time aside to do that for sure. The Phil says if the Red Bulls can finish with both cars on the track, I'll be very surprised. Well, yeah. What do we got on the left? Just realised that I had the wrong thing in the top left for you. You should be having the race times. So yeah, that makes sense. 6.715 seconds between Vettel and Hamilton actually at the moment. I don't think Bottas will get ahead of Hamilton on his pit now because it's well under 20 seconds. Fifteen seconds. 15 laps to go. So we're going to be probably about another half an hour or so till the final lap. Louise says, boo Hamilton, come on Vettel. Casey will react to the lineups on the United Stand because it's a 4:30 kickoff, isn't it? He says, I hope it is. Otherwise I've severely underestimated today. Yeah, 4:30 kickoff, so I'll be live on the United Stand for that at past. Uh, 19, just under 20 seconds between Hamilton and Bottas. So if Bottas were to pit, it would make it quite interesting. Yeah, the problem with Hamilton is he's just lost a second there because there are a couple of back stragglers. See if we can see it on the map. Vettel's just going past there on that bottom corner. And there is Hamilton. Five seconds between Hamilton and Ricciardo. They've got to pit, the Red Bulls. Ricciardo in. Should get in ahead of Raikkonen. Last time I checked, the gap between those two was enough for him to get out ahead. Good change that for Red Bull. Ricciardo out ahead of the Ferrari by a good 3 or 4 seconds. So the same hope will be Verstappen. I mean, that they were so close together. I wonder if Verstappen might, get in ahead. We'll see. Hi men from Argentina, says Emma Segura. Hello Emma, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you are new. Bottom right hand corner, lots of things coming up on here. I'm your fiddle, play me. Literally, we're going to do a lot of live streams and a lot of interactivity on this channel. Red Bull need to pit, says Jamie Kearney. Well, Ricciardo has come in already, Jamie. I would expect to see the Verstappen Red Bull coming in possibly on the next lap, which will be very interesting. Because you've got Ricciardo, a back straggler, and Verstappen. Raikkonen. We've got a fastest lap for Bottas there. Bottas, sorry. Here's Verstappen. Now Verstappen's in here. Let's see where he's going to come out, because you've got Ricciardo, Raikkonen, and a back straggler. So interesting to see who gets out ahead of who here. Should be still Ricciardo ahead of him. He has. Verstappen is out ahead of Ricciardo. Told you. Said it was a possibility. Said it was a possibility. So Ricciardo came in front of Verstappen and came in first. Verstappen went in second and undercuts Ricciardo. So Verstappen is having a good race. Hi Mark, says Daniel Sharon. Hello Daniel. Verstappen in and ahead of Ricciardo, says Jack. Yep. Verstappen's now on the ultra soft, says Adam McGarry. Louise says yes, Verstappen. Jamie says yes, Verstappen. He's been my... to be honest with you, Verstappen deserves fourth. I don't think he can get any higher than that unless anyone spins out. But he deserves it. He's been my... still got 11 laps to go, but I think Ricciardo was my racer of the last Grand Prix. And so far, Verstappen... He's just had so much to deal with. So much to deal with. The interesting thing as well is that if you remember, Sainz in the Renault overtook the Red Bulls very early on, and he pitted quite a while ago. And I always did think, when the Red Bulls do pit, where will the Renault be? But obviously he's got caught in traffic because he's not been able to do anything about it. Fazan says Red Bull are the Arsenal of F1. Nah. I'd say Red Bull are more the Spurs than the Liverpool. I think McLaren are the Arsenal of F1. Oh my God. Red Bulls have just whacked each other. What, we were talking about this 20 minutes ago. 20 minutes ago we were talking about this. Why let them race to that aggressively? Ricciardo, braking late, goes into the back of Verstappen. Both Red Bulls down. So, I was right. Raikkonen is going to finish in the top 4. It's a hell of a hit. What a shame. What a shame. We're just saying that. What a shame. Verstappen, for me, was the best racer of the day, and Ricciardo's just shunted him right up the backside. Knocks him up in the air. But somebody said that in the live comments, didn't they? Somebody said it in the live comments that they're going to end up whacking each other out. And this is where I think the conversation for this race, and we've had it throughout in Baku, is being team orders. We like the fact that people race against each other, but then when that happens, you're like, there's got to be a happy medium, hasn't there? There's got to be a happy medium. We've got a Ferrari coming in. But of course, the interesting thing about the safety car is that Bottas is in and out. Phil says, get Hamilton on the Ultras now. Tom James is saying, whose fault was it? Jack, give us your thoughts. Ricciardo, fault, Tom. There's a little bit of talk that Verstappen might have moved twice in the braking area, which you're not meant to do, but... So Hamilton's pitted as well, I believe. Safety car is our, and Vettel is right on Bottas, says Aaron O'Brien. Race on for the last 10 laps, yep. And haven't watched Formula 1 properly since Häkkinen versus Schumacher era. This is awesome, says Fellaini's third leg. Well, welcome to the show, Fellaini's third leg. Pretty much the same this year. I've got really back into it. So subscribe to the channel if you're new. This is the Mark Goldbridge live stream channel. We're going to do Hay versus Bello next Saturday night as well. Going to do a bit of Formula 1 sort of career mode, FIFA, but basically just sports that I watch where we can sort of interact and stuff. It's going to be an interesting finish now, says Stuart McHugh. It is, because it's going to be a 10 lap race, which is great. And you never know, do you? You never know. And actually, the subplot for this whole race is that the Red Bulls fighting each other has probably just given Mercedes a very, very good chance. Jack, is Hamilton in? Still Ricciardo's fault, according to Jack. Did Hamilton pit again? I missed that. I know Bottas did. Did Hamilton pit again? I can't see how that's Verstappen's fault at all. Jack says they've all pitted, even Vettel. Yeah, I saw Vettel go in. Tuddy fancies Kimi Räikkönen for third place. It's a funny old... I mean, this is the great thing about Formula 1. It's a funny old race. Kimi Räikkönen, second corner, collides with Force India, whacks his front tail off, comes in, and then finds himself with 10 laps to go in fourth place, with everyone boxed up. And if he can get the pace going, he could win the race. He can certainly get a podium. Tom James is asking how Hamilton's driving. Well, I'll let the live comments react to that. I think he's done okay. I mean, he did make quite a big mistake when he was closing in on the first set of tyres on Ferrari. And he locked up. It might be worthwhile if anybody can and has got the time in the live comments just to let everybody know who is on what tyres in the front four, because you've got super softs, ultra softs, and what advantage that gives, because that's something technically I'm going to have to sort of get used to, having come back into it. Football fans says, what happened to Vettel? Nothing really happened to Vettel. He pitted. Bottas hadn't pitted and was staying out. and then the safety car comes out because the Red Bulls wipe each other out, which allows Bottas to get his pit in and stay in first place. If the Red Bulls hadn't collided, Bottas would have come in, Vettel would have gone through into first, but that Red Bull collision has worked into the Mercedes' hands massively because it's allowed them to retain first place. Jack still thinks that Vettel may win it. Manchester United feels that Lewis can win this. What's my favourite driver apart from Lewis? I do like the Red Bulls. I'm very disappointed about what's happened there. It was such a great race, but it means nothing if you go and do something like that. All on super soft, says James Tyler. I'm sure some say Taylor. I'm sure I heard say. Well, we've got a cracking end to this race as well. We've only done 2 of these, and they've both been bloody brilliant. I think we've just got to keep doing them, haven't we? You know, what a good idea it was by somebody who said do the Formula 1. Pratic's not happy with Ricciardo. I bet Louise is pulling her hair out because she was very happy with Verstappen. He's been my race driver of the race, but he's not going to be at the end, is he? So far, I think Verstappen's had such a tough race, he deserved the podium. We've lost someone here. What's Grosjean done? Oh, we're gonna be safety laughing here a bit now because he's crashed, which means they're gonna have to clear him, clear the debris. So he's getting temperature into his tyres, Grosjean, and just whacks into the. What a plonker! It's a bit like reversing it's a bit like it's the F1 equivalent of reversing into somebody in Tesco's car park with everyone watching. He's literally just going like that, getting his tyres up behind the safety car, no pace at all, and loses it into the wall. And that's going to keep it even less of a race now. Aaron O'Brien says he's getting more and more into F1 because of this. Well, we might have started something here. This race might finish under the safety car, so the current order might be it, says Jack. Yeah, well, we've only got 6 laps. Politically, this is the problem with F1, isn't it? Politically. I mean, strategically, it can just spin on that. And you know what? If you're a Vettel fan, I've got to say, Vettel probably deserves this race because he'd not done anything wrong. It was a flawless race from Vettel. He pits. Bottas is ahead of him. Because he pits, Bottas has got to come in. Bottas is going to come in. But then the Red Bulls collide, which allows Bottas to come in and get ahead of the safety car. And now we've had this Grosjean thing, which is just totally unprecedented and stupid. And we've hardly got any laps left. And Vettel, with a flawless race, could end up second on the podium. So really, really interesting. I agree with you, Pratic, as well. It's a difficult position to get the car out of. They need to get the old crane out and pull it up. So they've got auto recovery out, the AA, they're going to pick the car up. Luis Deco Figo says Vettel only won in Australia because of the safety car. Yeah, it swings and roundabouts. And X-Wolf of the Wild says only 14 finishes if it ends like this. To be honest with you, a lot of you have said in the live comments and what I said at the start have come out to pass. For people who've joined us a little bit late, I've got the F1 2017 game with the proper steering wheel and the pedals, and I did about 20 laps last night on Baku, and it's a very hard track, and it doesn't surprise me the amount of mistakes we've seen on it. It's a very, very hard track, But the running theme throughout this stream and throughout the race has been a very exciting race between the Red Bulls of Ricciardo and Verstappen. But ultimately, the running theme in that was we were talking about team orders. I've watched Formula One when, you had to pull aside for your quicker, the favoured person, and they've let them race. And I just think that, letting them race to a certain point of view is good, but aggressively racing each other when you're both on the same team, the amount of money invested in these cars, if some other teammate, if a Ferrari whacks into the back of a Red Bull, what are you going to do? When a Red Bull puts both Red Bulls out, that is just poor team orders, I think. I think just let him through. And I don't know what Ricciardo was doing really, because Verstappen seemed to have the pace on him anyway, but it is what it is. Cracking race by Sainz in the Renault as well. He really impressed me at the start, the way he whizzed through the Red Bulls. Pitted quite early, gets himself into 6th now. Force India and Perez in 5th. But I think we are going to obviously see Mercedes and Ferrari 1 to 4. And again, I nearly forgot giving myself a little bit of credit. I did predict when Raikkonen was right at the back. I said I think he'll get top 4 today. And fortuitous maybe, but I've been proved right. And Jack says anybody who finishes 7th in a Sauber deserves a lot of credit. Yeah, and it's not. You're right, Jack. It's not always about the the fortuitous nature of a Formula One race. The reality is, it's been a very difficult race, and to be out there and doing that's great. I think Pratic's a little bit right here. It's like, how slow can they go round and get this race done? Christopher, Vettel's in a Ferrari. Grosjean is just like, I don't know how he's done that. Safety car going round. Grosjean, was he 7th or 8th at the time? Getting his wheels warmed up and goes into the wall. And he's not happy. They're showing it back now. He's just keeping his tyres, warming them up. Behind the safety car, everyone's going about 5 miles an hour. They're not, probably still, and he just loses it straight into the wall. Absolutely mashes the front of his car. Williams, as TAM trainer, should get credit for coming 8th. I remember the Williams at the start of the race as well. They were closing in on the Red Bulls, so. Anna Rude says Hamilton is the Lingard of F1. I'd say Hamilton's the Ronaldo of F1. I mean, Jesse Lingard's probably driving a Ford Corsa at the back of the grid in relation to talent compared to the best drivers in the world. Yeah, Louise is there. I knew she'd be upset with the Red Bulls. Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame. But I'll tell you what though, whether you're new whether you're new to F1, whether you're new to the channel, whether you enjoy, this is getting you into F1, or whether you've always watched it, I'm really, this is the second race we've done. I wish we'd done it from the start of the season, but we've still got loads of races to do. I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying the community that we're building. So keep spreading the word, keep watching the F1 stuff. I'm going to try and get the career mode up and running for the weekend of the next Grand Prix, which I think is Barcelona, I think. Cheeseburger 473 had a bet on Verstappen. Well, let us know what the bet was, Cheese, because he was in 4th at the time, so he was never going to win it. Tom James, yeah, Bello versus Hay next Saturday night is the watch along we're going to do for the boxing. I'm going for Hay. I like Hay. I don't think he covered himself in glory with all the pantomime leading up to the last race, but I think after that last fight. But after the last fight, I think we saw it was a pantomime. So I'm really looking forward to that next Saturday night. So we're going to do, we will do big events on here. I did the Grand National a few weeks ago as well. So we'll do all sorts on here. So get involved. Oh. Pratic says, should Mercedes push Bottas towards being their main driver instead of Hamilton? I think somebody said it right at the start of this race that I think Hamilton's a better racer than Vettel. They need to get the car off. They need to get Grosjean's car up off the track on the crane. They need to clear it, and then we should get probably 4 or 5 laps. So it's a 5-lap race. So I think Jack will probably confirm this, but the McLaren of Alonso has just come in and put some new tyres on, which are probably quite heated, in the hope that they can sort of blast through in the last few. It's going to be a cracking race this last 5 laps, 4 laps. Sorry. So a 4-lap. It's funny enough, I did a 5-lap race of the Chinese Grand Prix last night on the F1 game. So we're going to get a 4-lap race. So let's see. I always think, you know, people are thinking Vettel's going to blast past Bottas, but I think Mercedes have got a really good opportunity here, because you've got Bottas in first, Vettel obviously second, but you've got Hamilton behind in third. There's all sorts they can do here if they do it correctly, where Hamilton could blitz through for first, safety cars coming in, so that means that Bottas will control when they go. Four-lap race, everybody. 3:30, Wolf of the Wild for United Stand. Team news comes in an hour before, so we'll be live at 3:30. So plenty of time. What's Pre 14 playoffs, Louise? Is that rugby? Bottas has caught them napping and he's gone. Hamilton, he's having a look at Ferrari, can't do it. Raikkonen. Oh dear, Vettel. Oh, he went for it. What a move. Vettel went for it, had to really lock the brakes, and Bottas came back, and Hamilton came back, and Hamilton and Bottas are first and second. Well, Bottas and Hamilton first and second, and even Raikkonen has come through Vettel. Vettel went for it, got it on the corner, had to really lock the brakes, overcooked the corner. Bottas and then Hamilton came through, and Raikkonen, I'll have to watch this back again. So aggressive from Vettel, locks his brakes, trying to get the line, doesn't get the line, and Hamilton and Bottas do, and they're through. And Raikkonen obviously benefiting as well. And of course, the braking of Vettel will have absolutely knackered up his tyres. Louise has gone in disgust. I think she's a Vettel fan as well. But it's a great move by Vettel. If that pulls off, he would have been my racer of the day, because despite having, obviously the strategies and the way things have gone because of the Red Bulls, I think Vettel had raced a flawless race, but that gamble has not paid off. Vettel is not going to get anywhere in this race. He probably won't even get a podium. The Phil says 66. The Phil 6688 says there'll be no team orders for Mercedes, which would be very unfair on Bottas. Surely they won't let Hamilton just go through it. Bottas has punctured. So Vettel will be on the podium. This race has had everything. Well, we won't get to know about the team, will we? Perez is up to third, says Jack. What a race. Yellow flag. So who's been your driver of the day? I mean, it's very difficult now. Bottas isn't going to finish. The Verstappen and the Red Bulls have gone. You'd have to say probably Perez. I mean, a podium finish for a Force India is... We've not really mentioned Perez at all, has he? He's certainly benefited from the from what's happened with the safety car and everything. Hamilton, I wouldn't give him racer of the day. I just think, again, he's benefited probably like Perez. But easy move for the Force India past for Perez, just to pop past Vettel on the straight there. But Hamilton, he's just got to get home now. We don't really know what happened with Bottas. Does anyone know what happened with him? Drawty's in there. What a race. It's been fantastic, mate. Absolutely fantastic. And it's just it's the joy of Formula One, isn't it? Verstappen and the Red Bulls, I'm gutted. I think they've been brilliant. But, you know, you're going to get Perez and a Force India on the podium if he can finish. I don't see Vettel getting back at him. I don't think he's got the pace. Sainz, you know what? Sainz in the Renault would be a good shout for me. I think he's had a good race. He raced really well at the start and then pitted and done most of his race away from the cameras. But he is where he is because of a good race that he's had. Perez, don't know how he's done it. I don't know how he's done it. We've not really seen much of him in the race at all from the coverage. Hamilton, like somebody said, you know, Vettel, Australian, he benefited from the safety car. Bottas, very unlucky to be that late on. Very unlucky. So it's debris that does for Bottas. Really unlucky. Why is the debris on the bloody, I nearly said pitch. But there seemed to be a lot of debris and Bottas is in front. So what is the debris doing on the racetrack? Perez has actually got a 5-second penalty. So he will be quite far down anyway. So Perez wouldn't be my racer of the day anyway because we haven't seen enough of him, but he's not going to be on the podium anyway. Vettel will be. I think Sainz in the Renault if he finishes. Oh no, that's changed now. Jack, let us know what's going on. 50 to go, 2 to go. Give us your driver of the day. And somebody give us some clarification on Perez. I thought he had a 5-second penalty. Doesn't look like he does now, but Vettel's trying to get back at him anyway. But Ferrari are definitely quicker. It's interesting though. They're quicker. No, Perez hasn't got the penalty, says Jack. Ferrari are definitely quicker this year, but they haven't won the last 2 races. So Mercedes do need to respond in the European races. Doesn't have a 5-second penalty, Daniel, according to Jack. So podium number 1 for Hamilton. A very, very weird race. Ben Johnson's going to go with Racer of the Day being Sainz. Hamilton takes the check and fag. Raikkonen, Perez, Vettel, Sainz. And as you say, a Sauber in 6th can't be sniffed at Alonso in 7th. So you can't knock that. You can't knock that. 3rd for Perez. Luck on their side for Hamilton, I would say. He got very lucky, but still a fantastic race. A fantastic race. And the Red Bulls will be the story for me. Verstappen, I'm tempted to give Verstappen Racer of the Day anyway. I thought he just had such a challenging race. But you've got to say Perez or Sainz for me. I think that's fantastic for those. The Phil says Perez for me. Bottas is probably annoyed, says Red Jedi. I don't understand. Bottas is out in front. I don't think they'd even done another lap from the safety car. Where's the debris coming from? Why is the debris on the track? Don't know. Does any, what a race, says Jack. Kyle's heartbroken for Bottas. I don't understand why there is so much debris when he's out in front and they haven't even done a lap after the safety car. I suppose it's the way it goes. And Pratik is right. Genius in hindsight. Imagine if Vettel had just been patient. The puncher still happens and Vettel would have gone through from 2nd to 1st. Scott says Vettel screwed up. Very disappointed, but the best driver won. Good race. Again, the second one we've done of these, both have been very, very good for different reasons. So Hamilton takes the lead with 25 points. Vettel 13 points down on him. Only 14 finishers. Red Jedi says Vettel is probably a Spurs fan. Well, I can't believe somebody actually likened Hamilton to being the Lingard of the F1. I mean, he's not. He's the Ronaldo of the F1, isn't he? Hamilton deserved it, says Lewis, Deco Figo. And I agree with Pratik. The debris should not be on the track. Ferrari obviously ahead in the Constructors' Championship now with 2 finishers. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. Make sure if you are new to the channel you subscribe, because we are going to be doing this for the F1 races and a lot of other things as well. We've got Hay versus Bello next Saturday night boxing. We're developing more and more content on this channel. A bit of a slow burner, but the content hopefully will be good. So nice little introduction of the little map in the top right hand corner as well. Yeah, thanks everyone for watching. And if you are going to join me on the United stand for the Arsenal versus United game, we're going to be live there in half past 3, so half an hour. Really enjoyed that. Thanks everyone for watching. Especially with something like this, there's really quite a good number of people watching that we can see all the comments, a lot of different sort of knowledge, experience and opinion, which over an hour and a half race really does factor in, and some of us predicted it, didn't we? Thanks for watching. I think the next one, Kieran, is in a couple of hours. No, they can't turn it around that quick. A couple of weeks. I think it's Barcelona. But really enjoyed it, and thanks everybody. Everyone seemed to enjoy it as well, and I'll speak to you all soon. Thanks for watching. Keep your eye out, subscribe, get your notifications on. I'll see you soon.